Hello, hello. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Apologies for the camera quality. I am on my laptop. I don't have my extra camera equipment. I actually don't usually travel with my little nice camera. It's small enough to travel with. I just don't travel with it. I feel like it's doing the most. Anyway, it's your girl, Labria Jones, also known as the Remote Work Queen. And today is the day that I usually do a monthly live Q&A session for all the folks out there who want to ask me questions, have slid up in my DMs, sent me emails, text messages, smoke signals, whatever the case may be. If I have not been able to kind of get to your questions and get to the things that you want to ask me, I come here to do that. I come here to do that real time. That's probably the best place to ask me questions. But the best place to get information is the website. Four really great places to get information. One is the quickcommuting.com website, which we just relaunched. It's fancy. I'm proud of it. Let me drop the link to that. It's quitcommuting.com. There's a lot of information on there on the blog. Plus, I do have a free guide. If you go to the website, you can download the free guide, the ultimate guide to working remotely. It talks about all four ways that you can work remotely. So there's four ways to work remotely. And that guide actually talks about all of those ways and gives you some resources for that. And it's completely free. You can also grab the Remote Ready Bundle, which guides you through the four phases of finding and landing remote work. You can find that on the website as well. A lot of people really love that course. It was on sale, but it's full price now. But also, if you don't need the full bundle, because it talks about how to find remote jobs, it talks about how to apply for remote jobs, because this is an art. There's an art to it, an art and a science to it. It's not as easy as hitting that apply button. It walks you through. There's a module on interviewing and preparing for interviews, and getting your interview skills ready. And I do this really great pep talk on interviews in there and changing your mindset around interviews. And then there's a module on negotiating your salary as well, because we want you guys to get, and not just salary, compensation, total compensation. So we teach you how to calculate your total compensation. There is a guide that walks you through how to compare apples to apples from your offer versus your current compensation. We talk about other things that you can negotiate besides compensation in there as well. So there's a lot. There is a lot in the Remote Ready Bundle. But if you're already in the process and you're like, I really don't need the whole thing, I just need to talk about interviews, you can actually just buy that portion of the course too. If you go to our website and click on courses, you can buy just the portion of the course that you need. I'm going to warn you, you won't get the bonuses that come with the Remote Ready Bundle. And if you mess around and buy all of them, um, if you mess around and buy them all, uh, you will actually pay more. So it's cheaper in the long run to just get the whole bundle. But anyway, there's a course. But we also have the Quick Commuting Academy. So if you need structure, the course is the thing that you need to get, right? But if you feel like I need more guidance, I need a little bit more hand holding information, you should join the community as well. So I do have a private coaching community. It's free to join. And we do a lot of cool events in there that are completely free. But the paid community gets access to all the replays. They get monthly resume reviews. So they get to meet with a resume expert who is actually a recruiter at one of the big tech companies. And she's still a recruiter at a big tech company, but she does resume reviews, LinkedIn reviews. We do job search strategy sessions. We do this, what I'm doing tonight, what we're about to do tonight, because I'm just talking right now. But this live Q&A session, we do this in the paid community every week. So if you got questions, if you are getting stuck, if you need some advice, if you need a pep talk, if you need encouragement, then you can meet every week. We also do job search strategy sessions and quite a few other things in there too. So head over to quickcommuting.com and all that information is there. So the course, the community, and then there's the conference, which is happening August 10th through 12th this year. It's the biggest conference for remote. It's the biggest remote work conference for job seekers. All right, I gave you guys my spiel. I told you where to find things. I told you where to get things. I am currently in Egypt right now. So I just got to Cairo, Egypt on Tuesday night here. So I guess it would have been Tuesday afternoon in the States. but Tuesday night, and I am working this week, but next week I'll be on PTO, and just hanging out and enjoying Egypt. So I just dragged myself out of bed at 2:30 in the morning to answer questions for you guys. I set an alarm for 2:45 in the morning. It is currently 3 o'clock in the morning. But I promised you guys I would be here. So I'm here. So answer some questions. Ask me some questions. What is it you guys want to know? What is it you guys need help with? What are you stuck on? Where are you looking? What are you looking for? What can I help you with today? Let me answer some questions for the people at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, y'all. Thanks for joining. How do you network on LinkedIn? Ooh, I like that question. I really do like that question. So uh, a lot of people don't network on LinkedIn. So thank you for asking that. Thank you for knowing that you are supposed to network. Let's start with, who do you network with, right? So there's the who and then there's the how. So the who, I usually tell people that there are three people you should absolutely connect with. If you find yourself interested in a company, interested in a position. So let's say I find a project management role at Google. I'm not going to use Google. Let's use a different example, just because it's so big. Let's use DoorDash as an example. So let's say I want to be a project manager at DoorDash, right? Who am I going to network with? So first thing I'm going to do is go to LinkedIn. And a lot of people don't realize that you can do this, but you go to LinkedIn, you do a search for DoorDash, and then you click on people. You don't click on jobs, you click on people, so that you can see who works there, right? And then when you click on people, you can start searching for specific titles. So the three people that I would connect with at DoorDash is one, someone in talent acquisition, a recruiter, talent acquisition manager, stuff like that. Now, I always say that recruiters are tough to connect with and interact with, but you should still try, right? Recruiters are, what I like to say, is the IG models of LinkedIn. Everybody's up in their DMs. Everybody's trying to get at them, right? And so you still might be able to break through the noise depending on timing, depending on what you say. And thank you for saying that, Elle. Yeah, click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe as well. I'm dropping a video tomorrow on the most popular remote jobs of 2023. So if you want to get notified about that, hit the subscribe button. Anyway, sorry. Um, Recruiters are tough to connect with just because everybody's trying to connect with them. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Because again, timing, right? You might happen to send a message at the right time. You might happen to say the right thing. Okay. So connect with recruiters. That's the first person. The second person I want you to connect with is, who would you report to if you were in the role that you wanted to be in? So if I wanted to be in project management and say data management, I would probably report to their PMO, the person who runs their project management organization, or I would probably report to the person that is like the director of data management strategy or something like that. So figure out who you would report to and connect with that person. Here's why: that person is really the one hiring for the role. Okay. That person is really the one who has the need. The recruiter is just a facilitator for the hiring manager, right? The recruiter is the one that's going to do the work to find someone to give that hiring manager. So you want to connect with the hiring manager because that is the person that actually has the need. And so if you slide up in their DMs and talk about how you can solve their problems, then you might have your foot in the door, right? So that's the second person. The third person that you want to connect with is the person that would be in the same role as you. That is the easiest person to connect with. And just so you know, there's a whole module on this. There's two classes and a workbook on this very topic in the Remote Ready bundle. There's two classes and a whole workbook on that in the Remote Ready bundle. But the third person is the person that would be in the same role as you. And the reason is, one, this person is going to be the easiest to connect with because they see you as a colleague, right? They see you as someone who is in the same field as them. So I'm going to connect with other project managers in DoorDash, and it's going to be easier to inbox them and maybe get a response. So you could always reach out to that person and say, hey, I'm interested in a project management role at DoorDash, but I wanted to reach out and see how you like working there, right? Um, is this a great organization to work for? Or, do you feel supported as a project manager? Yada, 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 whatever you come up with, right? You can reach out to them. And if they respond, you can always say, would you mind giving my resume a look? And if you think I'm a fit, would you mind, shooting it over to the hiring manager or to the recruiter? Because that way, this person now can give you a foot in the door or a warm introduction into the organization, right? And sometimes there's something in it for them. So some companies offer referral bonuses for recruiting. So if they get to refer you and get you hired and you're there for 90 days, a lot of times companies will give people 300, 500,000 dollars for referrals. So reach out to someone who would be in a similar role to you and connect with them. All right. So that is the who, right? That's some of the who. The other thing I want to say is the how. A lot of people don't utilize LinkedIn to network in the right time and the right way. A lot of time people are sliding into the DMs or sliding into the message inboxes of recruiters when they're begging for a job or when they're in a dire need and they need a response right now. I'd say start networking before you need to. So if you have your list of companies that, you know what, I really admire this company, I would really love to work for this company, go ahead and start connecting with people, those 3 people at those companies, right? And start following some of those folks and start interacting on some of their posts, right? So when you think about the number of friends that you've made on Facebook just because they commented on something that you were commenting on or something that you post, let's say a friend was having a conversation and you commented, they commented, and then the two of you start having a conversation and now y'all are cool. The same thing happens on LinkedIn, right? So engage on LinkedIn and start doing it before you have to. So I'd say come up with your list of maybe 3 to 5 companies, 3 companies that you would just love to work for, and start following people and connecting with people there. Hopefully that answered your question and it wasn't too much. But yeah, I mean, I love my job, but I do have some companies that I admire, and I stay connected with some people at those companies because if I ever decide to apply, I want them to know who I am. I want to sound familiar to them. I want them to be like, yeah, I know Libria. We always talk on these posts about these topics, and oh, she just commented on something, right? I want to be familiar to them. So start to engage before you need to. Um, Somebody asked, uh, is there, how do you network on LinkedIn? Da, 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 da. Does the remote ready bundle include mock interviews? Yes. There is actually a mock interview. I'm doing a mock interview in the remote ready bundle. So Jenna Mulherin, my friend Jenna Mulherin, who is an interview coach based in Canada, she used to work for Lululemon and a few other companies as a recruiter. She actually interviewed me for a project management position. And it felt like a real interview, y'all, because I was a little bit nervous. And I even talk about that in the Remote Ready Bundle. So we do the mock interview, right? So she interviews me. And then after that, we do like feedback about the interview. She gives some feedback about some of the things I did really well and why. And I gave feedback about why I answered the way that I did in some of those cases. So there's a mock interview, and then there's also the feedback about the mock interview. So the interview portion actually has quite a few really great videos and also a workbook as well to help you prepare for the interview. Good. I'm so glad I answered that question. And I'm glad you asked it. A lot of people underutilize LinkedIn. I think other thing I note is before you apply for a job, head to LinkedIn and find out if you have any connections that work there. Like work the network. LinkedIn is there for a reason. LinkedIn is there for a reason. So, there was this one job I was looking at, and before I applied, I went ahead and went to LinkedIn, looked up the company and saw that I didn't actually know anybody that worked there, but somebody that went to FAMU worked there. And so I reached out to that person. And Rattler's gonna look out for Rattler. So that person slid my resume over to the hiring manager, and I had an interview within a week. So make sure that you're utilizing LinkedIn as well before you hit that apply button. Girl, Martisha, don't make me fight you on this live. Martisha out here trolling me. Where did you go to school again? I don't even remember. Was it TSU? Is that where it was? Anyway, Rattler's gonna look out for Rattlers. Rattlers are going to look out for rattlers. And so I had an interview within a week. So make sure you go to see, what do I have in common with these people? Do I have a second degree connection or a third degree connection? Do I have somebody that I can reach out and say, hey, you're connected with this person. Can you help me? Can you introduce me to them? Okay. So utilize LinkedIn for what it's for. Like, it is there for that reason. Okay. What other questions do you guys have? While you guys are working on typing your questions out, I just want to reiterate that the course has quite a few. She stay harassing me. She has the course has quite a few sections um, on LinkedIn. I'm gonna go there so I can tell you exactly how many classes on network and interviewing, because somebody asked about that too. But as well, if those are the only things that you need to focus on, again, you can purchase just that portion of the course too, because we do sell mini courses as well. We sell the courses separately as well. Um, so when I go here, let me look. Let me look. I see in the interview section, there's an interview pep talk where I talk to you about changing your mindset about how to interview, completely changing your mindset. Y'all be going into interviews acting like you there to beg somebody for a job, and that is not what you are there to do. They called you because they have a need to fulfill, and they believe you can fill that need. So you need to come to interviews in a power position. So there's a whole pep talk on that. Um, I do a session on mistakes that people make in interviews. We do a mock interview, feedback and notes. And then I did a whole thing on how to answer the interview questions that you hate. And then there is a nail the interview workbook as well. And then there's a bonus masterclass called Own the Interview, where Jenna Mulheron, who's an interview coach, actually walks you through her interview framework to prep for interviews too. So there's a lot in there. And I believe there's also a script to follow up after interviews, because I know a lot of people get scared to follow up after interviews. What can I do if my background is in education, but I'm trying to find remote jobs? Um, I think there's a different question that you're really trying to ask there. So let me try to answer what I think you're trying to ask, right? So there's two questions in there. One is, are there remote jobs in education? Two, what kind of jobs can I transition into? Is basically what I'm hearing. And correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but what can I do if my background is in education is what you can do if your background is in anything. You can look for jobs in your field. So that's step one. So there are remote jobs for people in education for sure. Um, you just have to, know where to look, know how to look. And we talk about that a lot in the course. I'm sorry, in the community. We talk about it in the course as well, of course. And the free guide gives you some places that you can look for remote jobs as well if you don't know where. But I used to always send people specifically to remote job boards, and I still will, because it's very direct, and a lot of companies still utilize those. I used to steer people away from LinkedIn and Indeed to look for remote jobs, because these aren't websites that are focused on remote work. These are websites that are focused on any kind of work. And so it's tough sifting through all the stuff there to get to what you're looking for, or it used to be historically. But over the last year, LinkedIn and Indeed both have added a remote work filter on their job boards. And so use the filters, friend. Go in there and look for education, and then click on the filter for remote work. And I think you're going to be surprised at what you find. I think you're going to find that there are a lot of remote jobs in education, and a lot more than you think. But then the other piece is, well, maybe I want to get out of education. Maybe I want to do some other things. And so there's a lot that you can do. One, you can identify um, what are your strengths? What are the things that you're interested in doing? What are the things that kind of you believe that you could thrive in? What are the things that you're interested in learning to do? Because one, when you think about your strengths and some of the work you do, you can transition into a lot of things. You've got transferable skills, right? Just because you came up in education doesn't mean that you need to stay there. You have skills that transfer to other things, right? So it's really about, what else would you like to do? And start talking about yourself as what that is, right? So you'll need to update your resume to start talking about your transferable skills for the roles that you want to go into. And The third thing I'd say is maybe you want to learn something. And I did just mention this. Maybe you want to learn a new skill. We actually just did a live event, a live micro session in the Quick Commuting Academy on skills that you can learn to work remotely. So we just talked about 5 skills that you could actually go and learn for in less than a year without spending a whole lot of money, without getting another degree to transition into. So I'd say if you're part of the full access community, so we did that last week. So the replay is not available to the free community anymore, but it is available to the full access community. And full access is $24.99 a month um, in the Quick Commuting Academy, and you can cancel it anytime. You can literally say, I'm going to sign up for the full community just so I can watch these videos, and then I'm going to cancel if that's what you want to do. Right? If you just want to sign up for it for a couple of months and try it out and get some details and then go back to the free community, you can do that too. But I do suggest going to watch that video because we talk a lot about transitioning into new fields and opportunities to learn new skills without having to go to college, right? So there's a whole lot. We talked about 5 of them, but also stay tuned because the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be posting 2 videos about that topic as well. So I think I'm sharing 10 things, 10 skills you can learn in under a year to work remotely. It's a two-parter. You were trying to do customer service. Why not? Yeah, you can do customer service. Absolutely. I know a lot of people, yeah, I mean, I'd also say, customer service is very broad, right? So you could do phone customer service, but it's easy to get burnt out doing that. And if you're burnt out in the classroom, my guess is you'll likely get burned out doing customer service pretty quickly, phone customer service pretty quickly. The other thing is phone customer service. Hold on for just a second, guys. Phone customer service is awesome. I mean, that's how I started in remote work. I was doing customer service for a very long time. But if you are a person that wants to get up and travel and move around and go places, being on phone customer service is not going to give you that kind of flexibility. If that's not something you care about, if you're just like, I just want to be at home with my family, and in the comfort of my home, then that's definitely something to lean into. But also, a lot of companies are hiring for email customer service and chat support customer service and stuff like that. So that's an opportunity too. Oh my God. Somebody just said they had an interview with PNC Bank today. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. Can we all clap it up for Sean and wish her luck? I hope that your offer letter is everything that you expect it to be and that you still negotiate it. And that you still negotiate it. Please, 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 if you have not already, watch the video. I did a video on why you should always, absolutely always negotiate your salary. I did that right here on YouTube. So please watch that. If you're part of the full access community, there's some videos in there on negotiating. If you go to the full access section and go to event replays, just scroll down to negotiations. My girl, Deidre Giles, who is the co-host of the Quick Commuting Conference, she did a whole masterclass on negotiating. So check that out too. Get ready, get ready, get ready. We cannot wait to get an update. You got to give us an update. Working as a contractor, I love this. And you can still negotiate as a contractor as well. You can still negotiate your rates as a contractor. I love that. So holler at us when you get your offer letter. We want to celebrate you, but also we'd love to have you come join us live and tell us how you got this opportunity and what kind of work you're going to be doing and all that stuff too. Let me scroll up. Also, the American Dream, I believe, a nonprofit that offers Google Coursera courses free. Oh, that's awesome. So someone just shared that there's an organization that provides some of the Coursera courses for free. She's learning data analytics. Girl, data analytics is on my list. So tomorrow I'll be dropping a video about the most popular remote jobs of 2023. And data analytics and data science is on my list. I work in data. I've been working in data for over 10 years. Since 2013. Is that 10 years? I can't do math at 3 a.m, guys. I've been working in data management since 2013. I'll just say that. And I'm gonna tell you, data is where it's at. Data is currency these days. And so, that if you like data, if you like understanding what data is important, what data elements are important, how to organize data, how to collect data, how to analyze data, and things like that. If you're into it, I definitely suggest looking at data analytics as an option. But yes, that is definitely on my list of most popular remote jobs in 2023. Little sneak peek of tomorrow's YouTube video. I'm a pharmacist and work remote, but my location is limited due to licensure requirements, and I would like to transition to something I can actually work remote anywhere. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you, like, healthcare fields, things like healthcare, government, you can work remotely. There's remote jobs in those fields, but it's going to be limited to the US because of regulations. And there's a lot of reasons why some companies and industries aren't a great fit if you want to be globally remote. If you're okay with being remote from anywhere in the US, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But just know that in some cases, you'll be required to stay in the US for a number of reasons. I mean, I think I did a video. No, I didn't. I've been planning to do a video on why some companies won't allow you to work remotely outside of the US or even outside of your state. Licensing regulations is a big one of those. And healthcare is a field where that's going to be a challenge, and government is also one of them as well. Yeah. Yeah, you're on the right track with data. Data is a great one. Excuse me. So, that said, I just want to go back to this whole working remotely. Um, I do want to encourage people, outside of it being a licensing challenge, outside of it being legal regulations. For those of you who are looking at remote jobs and you see that it is US based remote, I want you not to run away from those, right? So my company is actually US based remote, right? I can't move out of the country. I can't officially establish residence in another country, with the company that I work for. And there's a number of reasons for that. I could move to the UK because we have offices there, but I can't just move anywhere in the world. And there's a lot of reasons why companies won't allow you to do that. But that does not mean that the company won't allow you to go work somewhere else, um, remotely for a little while. Again, I'm in Egypt right now, but my company would not allow me to move to Egypt and work here because I need to be a resident of either the US or the UK, because we have business entities in the US and the UK. So I don't want you to run from companies that say they're remote in the US just because you're like, oh, I need to be able to travel. I need to be able to work from anywhere. If you're not trying to move out of the US and become a resident of another country, if you're going to maintain residency in the US, it's still possible for you to do that. You just need to understand kind of what their policy is. Is it, I can never take my laptop and leave the country because you guys have some IP concerns or some legal, or what is the word I'm looking for? Security concerns and things like that? Or is it that I can't be a resident of another country? Because those are two different things, right? In my case, my company doesn't care where I work from as long as I am a resident of the US and the UK. Um, and as long as I get my work done, which I definitely did today, y'all. I think I sat down at this very desk at 4 o'clock today, and I did not get up until 11:30. So from 4 to 11:30, I was tied to. I know I did take a 30-minute break to go get me some food, but these people was getting they money's worth out of me today. I think I sat at my desk for a full 8 hours, um, on today. So listen, people. I don't know. I really hate when people say remote workers don't be working. I be working, okay? Your girl be working. I don't care where I am. If I'm home in Egypt, in Colombia, when it's time for me to work, I am working. But I also say that to say that's why I have the privilege to do this, right? I definitely get more done. But one of the biggest reasons why I have the privilege to do this is because I actually am producing. I am getting work done. I am protecting my what I like to call my personal equity, my personal brand equity at my organization. I'm maintaining the level of trust that they have. They trust me to get the work done. I'm trying to maintain the quality of the work that I do. I'm trying to make sure I'm a key player, and I'm, all those things. So guys, if you're going to do this, I want you to be excellent in the time frame that you are actually working, so that you can continue to do this, because the minute they start to see you going down, that's the minute they're like, Maybe you need to be at a desk. Don't fumble the bag, right? Don't fumble the bag. And I'm gonna tell you guys a little story real fast while I'm waiting for y'all to ask another question. Today, I actually thought I was gonna fumble the bag for real. Um, I actually went to go log in to Teams to join a meeting today, and it told me that I couldn't log in. Like Teams just closed down on me and told me I couldn't log in at all. And then I couldn't even log into Outlook. And I had a lot of important meetings today. And I was like, oh crap. Um, I need to do this VPN because it's looking at my location and saying that I can't join Teams because of where I am. And that doesn't always happen every country that I'm in. Um, it doesn't happen in every country that I'm in. A lot of countries it doesn't matter. But I was like, oh crap, it's looking at my IP address and it won't let me log in because I'm in Egypt. And so I went to go download a VPN so it can change my IP address and show it's the US. It wouldn't even let me download the IP, the VPN. So I couldn't even download a VPN so that I could fix it and get into Teams. And I was like, oh my God, this is a travesty. Like I am still at work from today all the way through the end of the week. I'm not off until next week. If I can't go to meetings, if I can't even see Teams, if I can't even check my emails, I can't work. Thankfully, I went to my applications to see if I had deleted the VPN because I thought I had deleted my VPN so I can get space on my computer because I don't use it very often. I rarely ever use my VPN. I used to use it back in the day to like watch Hulu and Netflix and stuff when I was abroad, but now you can watch Netflix abroad. Anyway, I went to go to the applications to see if I still had it, and thank Jesus, thank the Lord, praise be to Allah, all of that. It was still there. So I just opened it and was able to log into Teams and get my work done in time for my meeting. Y'all, I was the level of terror I felt when I could not log into my meeting, and then the level of relief I felt when I saw that I did not actually delete that VPN. I was on an emotional roller coaster, but the bag is secure. So yes, that is we listen. It's all fun and games, and we cute for Instagram, and we be posting all these funny Instagram, like they said, no PTO, but I'm going anyway type stuff. It's cute for the gram, but I'm not fumbling the bag for nobody. Real talk. My main job comes first. So if I can't get my work done, then I can't go. That's how I feel. If I can't get my work done, I can't go. Um, Somebody said they get more done as well. Can't fumble the money bag. No, no, no. I work at audio insurance company and I work remote from the US, and my company won't let us leave due to regulations. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, you probably have a lot of personal identification for financial identification about people that they want to protect from a security standpoint. How do you highlight your transferable skills on your resume? In the skills section? Question mark. Great question. Let me answer that for you. So people always talk about having trouble highlighting their transferable skills. And truthfully, it's really about just talking about your background as it relates to the types of roles that you're trying to apply for. Um, Fun fact, we just did a video on this in the Quick Commuting Academy. Building an ideal profile to build your ideal resume. If you're in the full access community, you can catch the replay. It was a really good session, if I do say so myself. Because I talk about how to do exactly that, but also just how to approach building a resume in the first place, right? I think that's a challenge for a lot of people. And so, what I told people to do, and I'm just give you the quick and dirty of it, is go and look for three about. Oh, and there is a module on this in the in the remote ready bundle as well, and a workbook that helps you figure this all out too. So, what you want to do is what are the kind of roles that you want to have? All right. So let's say you want to be a project manager. Go find 3 project management positions that you would be really, really interested in applying for. Okay. And when you get those 3 project management positions, look through the job postings and start to highlight things that you see showing across all 3 of those job postings, right? Highlight the things that you see across all those job postings that you have in your background. So if they say ability to manage multiple communicate with multiple stakeholders. If that's something that you've done in your background, highlight that. If they say um, ability to lead project teams and communicate status and risks on projects or mitigate risks on projects. If that's something that you have in your background, highlight that, right? And so once you're done doing that, you have verbiage and uh, you have the language to put in your resume that matches your background, but also matches these positions, right? So you don't have to guess. They're telling you what they're looking for in the job postings, right? This is not a guessing game. You don't have to make this a guessing game, y'all. They are giving you the game in the job postings. So just go use the job postings to figure out how to do the messaging for that. I'd say look for maybe 3 to 5 positions that you're looking for. So if you're looking to transfer from education to project management, go find, and actually that is the if you're watching this and you're in education and you want to transition into project management, that is actually the example that we used, and we did a whole little exercise where I listed out some things that I saw in project management roles, and we said either this person, either someone in education either has or doesn't have these, to make it, just give an example of how you should look at this. But you don't have to guess. They give you the game in the job postings, right? So use those job postings to figure out what language should I be using. I'm not telling you to make anything up. I'm not telling you to copy and paste things. What I'm saying is look for common language throughout those job postings that match your background and the type of work that you've done and the education that you've had. Okay. And then make sure that you put that in your resume. So instead of talking about your last role, just based on what you did, talk about your last role based on what you did, experience, learned as it relates to the type of role you're trying to get into, if that makes sense. Yeah, let me give you the game. Definitely make sure you download VPNs before you get to the country that you go into. Because listen, listen, I was shook. I had like, it was like 4 seconds of fear. And really not fear. Like I could have taken off work, but the other problem was I couldn't communicate with anybody. That was the other thing. I couldn't even communicate with anybody to say, hey, I'm not able to log in. Can you guys kind of take over some of these things? I think, ultimately I could have, like, I have my coworkers' phone numbers, and some of them follow me on Instagram. I could have logged on LinkedIn and messaged people if I needed to, but I also don't ever want to put what I do in jeopardy, right? Like they trust me to be able to travel and work. And I don't, and I want to, as much as I possibly can, minimize opportunities for that to present a challenge and for them to start questioning, should I be able to do this? You know what I mean? Um, would you suggest that we use Chat GPT to find keywords and highlight that on your resume when applying for jobs? I don't see why not. We're actually in talks with someone who is teaches people about tech tools and new technology and things like that. She's going to come and host a free session in the community about using Chat GPT to write resumes and write LinkedIn reviews and things, LinkedIn reviews, LinkedIn profiles and things like that. And then once she does that, we will be adding it to the Remote Ready bundle. So those of you who get the Remote Ready bundle, just know that we will enhance that from time to time. I might just add some things to it so it can evolve. Um, yeah, I don't see why not. Make life easy if you can. Let's see here. Yeah, it does take down on the time it takes to do your resume. I just want to say I appreciate you so much and the wisdom you give us. I'm about to start a 10-week digital marketing course that gives dual certifications. Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations on that. So let's talk a little bit about what digital marketing is. Um, and Lauren, feel free to tell us what you plan to focus on in digital marketing. I'd love to hear that because digital marketing is a decently broad field that covers a number of things. So it can cover the strategy for how you do content virtually. So it can talk about, what is our voice? How and where do we show up? What platforms do we show up as on, right? Are we going to lean more into Instagram? Are we going to lean more into Facebook? Are we going to lean more into YouTube? Are we going to lean more into TikTok, and even those platforms, how do we lean into those platforms? And how do we show up and talk about our organization, our company, our products on those platforms? So it could be that, and what is our blog strategy and stuff like that. It could Digital marketing could also be, what is our email marketing strategy, right? How do we, how often are we going to send emails? What do we send emails about? How do our emails look? How do we talk about our sales and our products and things like that in our emails? What are our calls to action? It can also be um, paid advertising as well. So a lot of the ads that you see on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Hulu, Google, LinkedIn, all of the ads that you see, digital marketers can own those things too. But also just driving paid traffic to your website, that could be digital marketing as well. And so a lot of times you guys will see articles when you're scrolling through Facebook. You'll see just an article from like maybe NerdWallet or from Parenting Magazine, or from wherever. A lot of those are paid advertisements. They're not trying to sell you anything. They're just trying to get you to go to their website so they can drive clicks through to their website and drive eyeballs on their site. Because once you get on their site, they've got ads there too. So digital marketing can be decently broad. So Lauren, I'd love to hear what area of digital marketing you plan to focus in. But it's a great one. It's a really good one. And of course, we had someone come into the Quick Commuting Academy last year to talk about how he transitioned into digital marketing. He does paid advertising, paid social media advertising. There was a whole 2 months for other people that are talking about transitioning into new work. There was a whole 2 months where every single week we did a masterclass on how people transitioned or how you can learn to move into certain roles. I think we did technical writing, we did copywriting, paid advertising, virtual assistants, instructional design, Canva design, SharePoint. We did a whole bunch of different areas and things that you can learn and transition into. We brought people who have done that to talk about how they did it, and those replays are in the full access community. Yep. I just joined the Merit America program and I'm taking the Google IT support cert. That's amazing. Congratulations. I love that. I love that you guys are leaning into learning new things and transitioning into new things. Because now is such a great time to do it. Now is such a great time because the access to information and learning is unlocked. Because it used to be, if you wanted to be a developer, if you wanted to be a software engineer, you had to go to school for that and get a shout out to the replays. Yeah, the replays are clutch. You had to go back to school for that. Like, I mean, you had to have a degree to be a software engineer. And now we live in a time where you could sign up for a 6-month boot camp, and next thing you know, all these tech companies are after you while you're still in the boot camp. I have had people. I actually had a woman on a live Q&A in the Quick Community Academy once tell me that she was doing a boot camp for, I think it was UX design or software development, and she said that she wasn't even done with her boot camp, and recruiters were already hitting her up, trying to offer her jobs, offer her, to apply for jobs. And she told them that she wasn't ready. She told them, she was like, I'm not done with my boot camps. Girl, if you don't stop telling people you ain't ready, they reached out to you. They know you ain't ready. They can see that you're still in boot camp. Like, it's on your resume, it's on your LinkedIn that you're still in the boot camp. Uh, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and say, yes, I'm ready and I will be done on this date. Let's do this. So yeah, now's a great time to start learning new skills. And feel free to put that on your LinkedIn. Like, if that's something you're open to, if you're, not afraid of your job seeing it. But also feel free to put it on your resume too. And if you're applying for jobs in the field that you're learning about, put it in your cover letter. Talk about why you're interested in moving into that role, and what kind of course you're taking. Let the people know that that's something that you're investing your time in. I love the side conversations happening over here. I'm going to explore these options. I love it. Oh, okay. Okay. She said, Lauren got back to me, guys. I asked her what area of digital marketing she wanted to do, and she said that she hasn't decided yet. She's just exploring. There's like 10 different areas. And she likes virtual assistant work as well and wants to move abroad in 2 years. Cool. Digital marketing is a great one. And you can freelance doing that too. I think the guy that I mentioned, not I think, the guy that I mentioned who does paid advertising, he is a freelancer. He actually lives in Argentina. He's Argentinian. And he has people on his team. He's built a business from this at this point. He was freelancing on his own, and now he's built a business doing it. And he has a few people that work for him as well. So like he'll do the paid ads, but he doesn't write the copy for the ads. So he actually hires somebody else to do the copy for the ads and things like that. And then he plans the strategy. So he doesn't do the physical setting up of the ads. So he pays someone else to do ad setup. And so he's kind of farmed out pieces of that work. And so that's something else you guys can consider as well. Like you don't have to do all the things. You can also reach out to people who own or run businesses doing the bigger pieces and say, hey, I'll just do a piece of that. As an example, I like digital marketing. You can even be a content creator as a digital marketer, and people just email market and do great there. Also, people just do email marketing and do great there. Yeah, email marketing it was really a great one. I'm actually pretty soon going to be looking for. I wish I had a better background, y'all. Y'all gonna get this hotel room tonight or this morning. It's 3:45 in the morning. Um, I'm actually gonna be. It's on my, you know, business vision board for this year to find someone to do an assessment of our digital marketing and kind of do a whole overhaul of that. So pretty soon here, I'll be looking for an email marketer to say, hey, this is how many emails you should be sending a week. This is how you should segment your audience. This is the tone of your email should change to this. And, this is, probably the template you guys should use and things like that. So somebody said, we here for those gems. I appreciate that. I feel like I was able to pull my energy level up, but I feel like it is trying to slide back down because it's 3:50. I have a photo shoot in the morning. So right now it's 3:50 a.m. I have a photo shoot at 8 this in the morning. So I got to start getting dressed for that at like 6:30. And I'm debating. I really want to work out tomorrow. I really, really want to work out. So that means that I would need to get up by 5:30. So that means after this, I probably get an hour and a half of sleep. But I did go to sleep like right after my last meeting at 11:30. I went to bed so I could get up for this. But this is great. I love doing Q&As. You guys always ask such great questions. And so I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's a photo shoot. I can cancel if I want to if I don't got it. I can do whatever I want. But I'm going to the photo shoot because I'm really excited. I'm very excited. We're going to go do photos by the pyramids, and then go to this place to have breakfast or lunch that's right by the pyramids. Like you're sitting there having food by the pyramids. It's going to be awesome. And then we're going to go to like this market in Cairo. And I found some pretty cool co-working spaces in downtown Cairo. So I can't wait to go to those. I'm going to go to one tomorrow afternoon and then one on Friday afternoon to check out some co-working space. Oh, I like that. So Lauren said, if anybody wants to know what digital marketing course she's going through, she's open to tell. So just tell us. Drop it. Drop it. Let us know. Yeah, I love doing these as well. And I do them for free every month, once a month. But if you want to hang out once a week, come feel free to join the full access community because we do this every single week. We get together every week and answer questions. And we do basically right. Tell her, drop the D's. You ain't gotta tease us. Just tell us. Don't tease, just tell, Lauren. Just spill the tea. We want to know where are you taking the courses. But yeah, we do these every week in the full access community. So if you're not in the Quick Commuting Academy, please do join. Please do join. Again, it's free. Like I'm not gonna force anybody to spend any money. I share a lot of information for free. The things that you pay for when it comes to remote work resources from my perspective, the things that you pay for is more structure because a lot of times people are like, that's a lot of information. Just show me just show me exactly where to go and what order I should do things in. And so that's where the course comes in, right? The courses give you that kind of guidance, or that kind of structure, right? It's organized in an easy to follow way. You can go to exactly what you need to go to, and it tells you what order to do that in, right? And so that's what the course comes in. The community comes in if you need more guidance. If you're like, I need a little bit more hand holding, right? I need a little bit more touch bases, and I need some encouragement and support, right? Because looking for jobs is usually a solo sport. It's usually something people do in isolation. And so the community brings you, I mean, removes you from having to do it in isolation. It gives you a group of people to rally around you, support you, uplift you, and hold you accountable, right? And so if you need more guidance and more touch bases, that's what the community is for, right? And then if you feel like you need more impact, like I want to be there in the moment, I want to be in the room where it happens, I want to be there where recruiters are, I want to be there um, where experts are, right? And where all of these thought leaders are, then you come to the conference. So you've got all three of those, right? Again, if you need more structure, then just here's a bunch of free content. Go forth and use it because there's a lot of free content, right? I have free content here on Instagram, on my blog, right? So if you're like, I love the free content, Liv, thanks for giving it to me. But I'm gonna need a little bit more structure, right? I'm gonna need a little bit more structure, like start here, do this, move to this piece, step over here next. Then you grab the course, one of the courses. And that's on quickcommuting.com. Again, you can go to courses, /courses, right? So if you need the structure, that's what you do. If you say, I need the guidance and the touch points, I need to be able to meet with someone monthly to review once a while in a while to review my resume. Let's say you want to have your resume reviewed this month, but 2 months from now, you really, really want to apply for a specific job and you want to come back to have your resume reviewed again to see if you think it's a match for this job. Like you can come to Chelsea, who's our resident expert, and say, Chelsea, let me show you this job. I know you reviewed my resume 2 months ago, but look at this job. Is there anything that you think I should tweak before I hit the apply button, before I submit my resume to this? So if you need more guidance and more touch points, then join the community. Come through to the community. I'm going to drop the link to that, quickcommuting.com/community. And then if you want to be in the room where it happens, you want the impact, then come to the conference. The conference is happening August 10th through the 12th, quickcommuting.com conference. Yep. Somebody said the remote ready bundle helped me land a remote job, but I hated that job. Girl, I don't know if that's a commercial or not. Okay, so let's separate this out. One, the remote ready bundle helped her land a remote job. Excellent. So happy to hear that. Separately, she didn't like the job. Here's the thing that I want to point out about that. I want you guys to know that having a remote job will not solve all your problems, right? There are toxic environments remotely as well. And there are jobs that you might not like, right? You might not like doing it. You might not like the people that you work with. You might not like the type of work. You might not like the culture, a lot of things. So I don't want you ever to think that I'm going to get a remote job and this is going to solve every problem I've ever had. There are pros and cons to everything. All right. And there are aspects of my job that I really don't like. I love my job. I love the people that I work with. I love the work that I get to do. But there's a lot of aspects of my job that I'm like, I really hate this so much. And trust me, there are times where I'm like, I should just leave. But then I remember how good I got it and how much I like the people that I work with. And I like my clients and my job. So I stay there. So I love that you were honest about the fact that you didn't like that job, because we're not always going to like our jobs. And having a remote job does not insulate you from that. I just want to be very honest and very transparent and very clear that you could land a remote job, yay, 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 and you could not like that remote job, right? But a remote job only works if the work environment is positive. Otherwise, you'll just be stressed in your own home. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, it still needs to be a good fit for you, right? It still needs to be the right type of job for you, the right kind of fit for you, the right kind of support for you, the right kind of management for you, the right kind of ownership and autonomy for you, and things like that. So, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad that the remote ready bundle helped you get a remote job. And I'm glad that you're honest about the fact that you didn't like the job and that you are doing something about it, right? Um, and now you know what to do and ask better questions of yourself in the next interview about the company. I like that. I like that. All right. Any other questions that you guys have? Oh, somebody asked, can you upgrade your quick commuting conference ticket? Unfortunately, the way the platform is set up, it doesn't allow you to upgrade. But what we typically do is, I think we usually, a few weeks before the conference, we usually send out an email for people that want to upgrade. We usually send out an email and say, hey, here's your one shot at upgrading, because we have to do things manually to upgrade your ticket. We have to actually go remove you from the conference, cancel your ticket, give you a refund, and then you have to go purchase it again. It's a pain in the butt, so we only do it, like, once right before the conference, one shot right before the conference, and that's why I usually tell people, "Make sure you get the ticket you really want," right? Make sure you get the ticket you really, really want, because they don't make it easy for you guys to upgrade, unfortunately. The Power to Fly sessions you recommended helped me with networking. Had a person look over my resume and gave great feedback on what to add, change. Amazing. Amazing. So we also host a lot more sessions too. So we were sharing a lot of the sessions that Power to Fly and Flex Jobs and other companies were doing as well. And I think they're amazing companies. I love Power to Fly. I love Flex Jobs. They do basically what we do also, for the most part. There's, some things that we don't do that they do, and some things that we do that they don't do. So they're great partners. I'm actually doing a talk for Flex Jobs here soon, and I've spoken at a Power to Fly event before too. But the Quick Commuting Academy will be doing a lot more programming and a lot more events. As you may have seen over the last few weeks, we've been doing a lot more events. So you'll start to see us just sharing a lot of our stuff. But be sure to follow Power to Fly too. Um, how do we, excuse me. Y'all hear my voice cracking? I sound like a 13-year-old boy. That was funny. How do we buy tickets after we've registered for the $75 option? Can you can you help me understand your question a little bit better? Because if you've registered for the $75 option, you should already have a ticket. If you're talking about the Quick Commuting Conference when the tickets were on sale for $75, which I think they still are, then you should already have a ticket. So I'm not sure I understand the question. If you could ask that maybe a different way or provide a little bit more context, that would be awesome, because I want to get you the answers that you need. Also, if you have questions about, let's say you've purchased the Quick Commuting conference tickets, or you're in the Quick Commuting Academy, and you got questions about your product or the services that's provided, you can always hit up our support team. There is a button on the website. There's a button in the course. There's a button in the community that says contact support. You can also send in a customer service ticket. The answer is not in my DMs though. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I hired people to answer those questions because my DMs are trash. I can't answer everybody's questions, and that's why we have a support team to do that. So please do not send me a DM to ask questions about the current products and services that you have access to. Please contact support. Um, I need to add in the QCA that Power to Fly has sellathons and hackathons. Yep, if you know coding, and you can win real cash with gift cards. We shared one of them last month. Yep, we shared one of them last month in our newsletter. Uh, oh, that's really nice to say. Someone said it's cool to hang out in the Quick Commuting Academy. It's very supportive. No one makes you feel bad. You get supported and uplifted. No need to be ashamed. It happens to people, whether it's a remote job or a brick and mortar. True. Yeah, the community is super supportive. I love that. Thank you for saying that. What are your thoughts on the CAPN certification? Waste of time. That was I'm so direct about the CAPM. I'm gonna ask you a question, Constance. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question back. Have you ever seen a project management position that said we're looking for somebody with a CAPM? Have you ever once seen it that says CAPM preferred? Not once. I've never seen it. I feel like it's a waste of time. I've never seen anybody posting a PMP position or posting a project management position that said CAPM not required but preferred, or CAPM is a nice to have, or would strongly consider a candidate with a CAPM. They always say PMP. They either say nothing at all or they say PMP. So I think it's a waste of time, money, and effort, personally. Um, That's my answer. If you're going to take a course, I mean, if you're going to get a certification, go ahead and get the PMP. And one thing that I want to remind people is because I think a lot of people try to get the CAPM because they're like, I don't have a lot of project management background. You probably do. Just because you weren't called a project manager doesn't mean you did not do project management work. Okay. It does not mean that you didn't do project management work. And I'm gonna give you an example. My business partner for Wandering Moms was in education. She was a teacher, and we ran Wandering Moms for together for about 6 years. And she transitioned. She ended up transitioning into a tech PM role, a PM role in education technology for an ed tech company. And she was like, "Oh, I really like this. I really like being a project manager. I think I want to get a PMP." This woman, my girl, was like, no, she said, I'm thinking about getting the CAPM. I was like, girl, go ahead and get the PMP. Like, what are you doing? She was like, but don't you have to have a certain amount of experience in hours to get a PMP? I was like, friend, you ran a whole business for 6 years. We hosted events, we hosted virtual events, in-person events, and we ran trips for 6 years. You have project management experience. She was like, oh crap, you're right. So just remember, just because you haven't been called a project manager does not mean you have not done project management work. Okay. And so I think a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm gonna get the CAPM because I don't have the background. You probably do. You probably actually do. Okay. So, and we're going to do here, I think next quarter, either quarter two, Q2 or Q3, we're going to do a whole focus on transitioning into project management because it's something I get asked about a lot. And so we're going to do a lot of content and events around transitioning into project management. So stay tuned for that. I'm a CPA, and I would throw that on. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think in these days and times, a PMP isn't actually necessary either. A lot of folks are hiring people that don't have PMPs. I've worked with a lot of project managers that don't have it. I think it's a great certification to have, but I say go work for a company that will pay for you to get it if you really want to have it. But don't let it be the thing that stops you from applying from project management positions because there are plenty of companies that will hire you without it. Somebody said I started the CAPM in 2020 and abandoned it because no one acknowledged it in the jobs I looked at. I don't even know why they offer that thing anymore. Um, is there a discount on the remote ready course if you purchase a ticket to the QCA? You know what? I got so many acronyms, we getting them mixed up. So you can't purchase a ticket to the QCA because that is the community. I think you mean the QCC, the Quick Commuting Conference. Yes, Quick Commuting Conference people do get a discount on the remote ready bundle. So if you purchased a full access ticket, you get 25% discount. If you purchase a premier access ticket, you get a 50% discount. And that email comes out to you automatically if you have already purchased the tickets. Oh, don't let me take my lashes off. Oh, y'all, I'm about to rub my lashes off that I paid good money for. If you purchased a premier access ticket, you get 50% off. And I think we already sent the emails out to the people that have purchased. If you purchase going forward, that email will come to you automatically with a discount code, with your discount code. Cool. All right, y'all. This was fun. I'm glad I woke up to hang out with y'all. Y'all made it worthwhile because you asked great questions and had some great conversation. Let's continue this, right? Come join us in the community. You can always ask questions in there, and we can continue to talk, share information with one another, and all that in the community. Elle, do me a favor, ask that question in the community because I got to go, babes. Your girl is tired. And we've been here for over an hour now. So great question. Let's talk about it in the community. Join the Quick Commuting Academy for free if you want to. Completely for free. I'm not asking you to spend money. And let's talk about Six Sigma in there. All right, y'all. Have a great night. Yeah, I can't wait to post the Egypt vlog. But right now, I can't wait to get back to sleep. See y'all later.